You're listening to Punisher Waterfowls, the Union 0430 podcast. Brought to you by Real Geese Decoys, the most technologically advanced silhouette decoy on the market. First Light, the best hunting gear on the planet. Go farther, stay longer. And Ducklander Calls, tradition, education, and quality. Built to hunt.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Union 0430 podcast. This is episode 248. And we've got the lads from Hunt Proof. I know you've been following them. I'm fairly confident to say that most of the followers will already know who you guys are. So, excuse me. So this is good. We've got the boys on the show. We're going to talk everything Hunt Proof and then end up down rabbit holes like we always do. So it'll be a great show. But before we get going, I do have to thank our sponsors of Real Geese Decoys, First Light Clothing, Ducklander Calls, and of course the voice of the Union 0430, Captain Jeff Coates from Pit Boss Waterfowl. Nathan, Steve, boys, I'm happy. I'm finally happy to say that I got you on. We've been back and forth for a while, and I tell you, I've got to confess to everybody that listens, I forget about American Thanksgiving every year, and it's always it's usually Thursday nights that we record, right?
Yeah.
And buddy, last Thursday, I could not get anybody in North America to come on this show whatsoever. And I get it with the Americans because it's American Thanksgiving. And you guys, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada to the level that you guys do. We have Thanksgiving, but you guys take it to a totally different level whatsoever. It's crazy, man, how much you guys love your I'd like to consider myself a connoisseur of turkey as well, but
yeah,
I think you guys do it. You guys knock it out of the park every time.
Over the top.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Thanksgiving brisket now. So that's my new jam. My mom doesn't like it too much because the turkey gets left behind and the brisket's gone. So she gets a little frustrated by it, but it's my new thing.
Thanksgiving brisket.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I gotta come down to the States. I gotta do American Thanksgiving just once, just to be able to say I done it. But I'm driving because I'm not attempting to fly down in the States during Thanksgiving because I see the news and that looks
a little wild.
Dude, that looks crazy.
I can only imagine.
Fellas, again, thanks so much for coming on the show and dealing with me and back and forth and jigging your schedule to be able to do it. I really want to get into the Hunt Proof thing because, like I said before we hit the record button, I've been following you guys for a long time, and Nathan, you and I we did meet. In Baton Rouge a couple years ago. We just didn't get a chance to really hang out and chat, and so it's okay if you don't remember meeting. But
I do. I was all butthurt because you said, "Oh, we need to do a podcast," and then 2 years later, you finally messaged
me. Well, remember what we were talking about before the record button? You just got to say, "Hey, remember that invite?"
Yeah, you don't want to hassle me, and I don't want to hassle you, so we just didn't say anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it comes down to, because and you guys, I think you guys would get what I'm saying when I say you just don't want to bug people, and that's what it seems like you're doing, right? It seems like you're bugging people.
100%. Yep.
So, so then when over the last month and I guess leading up to the beginning of the season for you guys, and I start seeing you guys pumping more on the social media side of things, I was like, man, I got to get the boys on. So then I reached out, and here we are finally after.
Happy to be here, man. I appreciate your patience with their schedules. November's been a little wild.
It had, and you guys have been busy too, eh? You've been on the go, Nathan. I know you got. Yeah. Both of you have full-time jobs and the whole bit, but then you were on the road a bit too, right?
Yeah, I did a North Dakota trip early the first week of November. I guess we was 9 days including your drive time. So,
Okay.
that was it. And then come right back to, if you've been gone 9 days and then work says, oh, you got to stay late and work extra. Okay.
Yeah. 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 Go figure, eh? Work always getting in the way. Nathan, I'll start with you. And Stephen, we'll get to you, and we'll go back and forth on this a little bit. But your background, like you're in Illinois, right? And I don't listen. I don't want to sound like a jerk or anything like that. And I'm still learning as much as I can. But Illinois does not scream duck hunting, just from my limited experience, right? Because all I think about is, I think Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, Louisiana, like those places, right? But when you start getting into the Midwest, like I just like North Dakota, yeah, sure. But so talk to me about your background, buddy, and how you got to where you are today, because we'll get into Hunt Proof here in a little bit.
So actually, like where we're at, we're in Southern Illinois. So, we're only like 45 minutes north of Marion, which is like the Tim Grounds area. So,
okay.
So like Wren Lake, Crab Orchard. It's like some of these big historical waterfowl refuges that used to hold 250,000 birds. They're 45 minutes away. Like, they're right there. So we used to be in at least a goose mecca. I don't know if I'd ever, paid attention to how many ducks we used to hold, but like I've looked at the paperwork and old numbers where, Crab Orchard would be holding a couple 100,000 geese, Canadas.
Yeah.
And then Wren Lake, which is, 40 minutes north or 30 minutes north would be holding another like 100,000.
Wow.
And then, like Carlisle Lake, which is another one farther, another hour plus north, it might be holding another 150,000. So like in 2 hours between north and south, 500,000 geese, and that was when you could throw some tires out in the field and shoot geese. It was just unbelievable. Like the early 2000s, I started hunting right in the early, like 2000, or maybe it was even 99. Like my grandparents have a farm, and there's like a state fairgrounds here in town that would hold, and back then it was holding like 4,000 geese. Well, they would get up and leave and go head that direction towards my grandparents' farm. And I mean, I wish I knew what I knew now, like back then, because I could have killed so many geese. Like I was killing geese off of the herders windsock, Canada Goose windsock. So I mean, it literally was a black trash bag or a dark brown trash bag, and I was killing geese off of them. Like me and my brother go lay out and throw some weeds on us, and we were shooting some geese hit and miss. And if I knew what we knew now, we would have piled them up. But it's just slowly trickled down to where, I mean, right now we're almost halfway through season, and we got some birds over this last weekend, but if there's a few thousand Canadas between all three of those refuges, I'd be surprised.
Really?
It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And to get, like, we'll get right off topic here, I know. What's causing it? Like, so what is it? It's not hunting numbers, because I don't think your numbers are increasing of hunters, right?
No, they're just not getting
down there.
Me and my buddies were talking about this when we were in North Dakota. So I've been going to North Dakota now this is my third year this year with this trip. And the amount of corn that is left in these fields.
Oh, really?
In North Dakota. Like I'm Southern Illinois, whatever, right? I could walk 10 feet. If I took a 5-gallon bucket and I walked 10 feet across 2 or 3 rows, I could fill a 5-gallon bucket up with full ears in a 10-foot span. And every single year. So like we were in the same general area.
Wow.
But I mean, we hunted the same general area in North Dakota, and we had, a dozen plus different farms that we hunted on that were cornfields, and they all were the same. So I don't know if it's because they're so far behind all the time that they're going like super fast. They're running their combine super fast. It's just how they do. I don't know. But I honestly think that the combination of no-till. So I actually looked into this the other day. So like ChatGPT said, like literally 88 and 1990 was when no-till became super predominant. Like, you know, Roundup and all that stuff started really doing its thing. And I really do think that that's because, like, we always say weather sends birds down, right? You know, it's the weather. Well, it's not just cold, because as long as there's food there, they'll figure out the water situation.
That's right.
Well, it's food covered. Okay, well, if there's that much corn laying on top, how much snow do you have to have before
they can't get to it?
Accessible? Yeah. Now, if that's been tilled under one time, it's a little bit harder. You know, so let's say maybe if it's been tilled under once, maybe we need 6 inches of snow. If it's laying on top, do you need a foot to get the goose to leave? I don't know. I'm not a biologist, but I do know that like the amount of corn you see up there, like it is
really.
I'd be hard pressed to say it's less than 5 times what you would find here.
Well,
like it's literally 5 times more ears laying around. It's crazy.
Like where I am, like we're predominantly a corn ag area as well, right? And like, dude, if you go out and if you can find a half dozen ears of corn, like you're lucky. Like the machines are just so efficient now that they hardly leave anything behind, right? There's always a little bit, but nothing crazy, right? But what you're telling me, like I have never seen anything like that.
So like one of our hunts, we set up in a cornfield, so it's actually was they call it plots ground up there in North Dakota, so it's like public ground. It was a cut cornfield, and some snow geese had got in it. We watched some ducks kind of go in there. We thought, hey, we're going to go do this. So we set up a decent little snow sock spread and some mojos. And like, you know, sun got up and we shot a few ducks, and we're kind of talking, and we're just standing there. And I'm like, guys, look at this. And like where I was standing, I could count 12 ears.
Wow.
I mean, just shining like new money out there on the middle of this cornfield, you know? And I was just like, holy moly, there's so much corn in here. And I mean, and the birds had been in it we had only seen them for one day. So they might've been in there for a few days. I don't know, but it was just like, oh, there's just so much corn in here. And then we started talking about it. I'm like, man, you know, I know no-till was always a factor in my brain. No-till was a factor. You know, the winters haven't been as cold. I get that, but I think that combination of, and maybe even the power plant lakes, you know, maybe that helps too. But it's like, after seeing that 3 years in a row, every field that we hunted that was corn, you know, I couldn't hardly say that for beans. I didn't notice it as bad with the bean fields that we hunted up there, but the corn was just astronomical.
Really? Huh. That's interesting. That's really, really wild. Like I just like the efficiency to be leaving that much corn around. It just seems like the farmer must have there's got to be a reason why they're doing it. Because farmers aren't in the business of leaving you know, crop on the ground. So there has to be a reason why they're doing it. Stephen, buddy, time for you to chime in here.
No, you guys were doing so good. I just let you go.
Oh, no. You're getting in here too. Don't you worry.
I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So no, that is, obviously I didn't go to the Dakotas with Nathan this year, but my dad and I actually just had this conversation. He was telling me how good the geese hunting was, even the early 90s, 80s. I just turned 41. So I didn't hunt in the 80s, but he was just telling me like just constant stuff, how they would just bond. Cause we've got about 150 acre slough that we've got a few blinds in, surrounded by ag field. And we walked the property about 2 weeks ago, and he was telling me locations of old blinds that you could just bang on the Canadas as they were descending into the field, directly adjacent to the slough. Dude, I hunt there. I don't make it down too much, but I hunt there a few times a year. I never see Canadas down there at all.
Really?
Nathan, Big Ponds. I don't know if you've been out there a few times. They never get in there. He said it was insane in the
Really?
80s and 90s. And we literally had this exact same conversation. No till, fall tilling. A lot more people do it down here. And so it was really interesting. I was about ready to hop in, and then Nathan said the no-till. I was like, stole it.
Stole it.
Yeah. But I just had this conversation with my dad.
I gotta admit, I've never ever put much thought into the no-till. Like, I just never ever put much. We still have people that do it. It's not a lot of people that till. But I just never put that much thought into it, and that it would have that much of effect. But it totally makes sense to me and it totally do. I just know, as a hunter, when you see a field that's stacked and it's tilled, you're like,
oh dang. Yeah.
How am I going to hide in here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
wait for a rain. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Sorry, Steve, buddy. I cut you off there.
No, you're good, man. No, it's but yeah, it is the no-till. How historically I've thought about it is Southern Illinois, where it's I arrowhead hunt a lot. I don't know if in Canada you guys anybody does that up there.
No.
But we are Nathan and I are about an hour and a half away from Cahokia, which was one of the biggest Native American settlements pre-Columbia or Columbus, and so they're all over in the fields here. And so since people stopped no-till or started no-tilling, it doesn't turn the ground over as much. So I've always thought that was a bummer. And then until I started, I never really, I was always like hunting on the water, and I started field hunting just honestly a few years ago because I didn't really have access to anything. And now I look at no-till just a little bit different. Before I was like, man, think of how many points are under this field right now. And if they'd only start tilling a little bit deeper. But yeah, it's having that conversation with my dad kind of drew the correlation a little bit stronger for me.
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, it's amazing. And for you guys, like, you guys are in prime ag country too, right? So you wouldn't notice it. Like, I don't know what your pothole region is like, like puddles and stuff. Like, I'm in the area of 1,000 lakes, right? So we've got ag, but not to the level that you guys have, you know what I mean? So no, that's really cool. I never thought about that. I got it's going to be cool, because I'm sure I'll make a clip out of this little portion where you guys are talking about the no-till, and I can't wait just to hear read the comments about it, right? Because I've never heard anybody bring it up, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So I initially heard that the first time I heard someone else bring that up was Scott Trinan up there in
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yep.
And he kind of was like the same thing, he's like, I think it's a combination of everything, birds not migrate, and between the no-till and power plant lakes holding birds longer or able to. And, if open water used to be an issue, then now it's not. And then you combine that with no-till and a little bit extra grain. And then you can clearly say that our winters haven't been as cold as they used to be. Like in Southern Illinois, we did get some snow the other day, which is crazy for Thanksgiving. But, we might get 10 snows, but it's never more than 2 inches, and it lasts 3 days.
That's right. Yeah.
It's gone in 3 days. And back, I remember, one of my most memorable hunting on my grandpa's field, that field that I was telling you about, they get off this fairgrounds and come right at us. Me and my brother were laying out there with our little wind socks on a stick, and we literally buried down in the snow and laid there.
Yeah.
And it was like 10, 12 inches of snow. I haven't seen that since then.
Yeah.
40 years. I probably was, I would have been 16. I was just barely driving. So, it's just different.
Yeah. Like there was the argument about global warming, right? Like, I think we can park that. Like, I'm not sold on the global warming, but there is definitely a climate change, right? because we're seeing it. And one of the craziest things that I've never witnessed this, but we had, people on last year and they're talking to us about the reverse migration and how that's affected. So that was in Kansas. And I know that was happening in North Dakota too, because we had people that were telling us, well, like they left and then like 2 days later they came back. And I'm like, that's bonkers to me, because once they leave here, they don't come back. They just keep going. Right.
We do see that here too.
Really?
Yeah. So it's probably not as like predominant as what someone else they're talking about, but
right.
Like if so, like right now we're high 35 for the next few days.
Okay.
And so we're pretty cold.
Yeah.
We did pick up some birds, but if they start getting banged on or whatnot, they might push out. But if you get like a strong south wind, and get a warm up, so like 2 days later, you'll see them birds start coming back. Our counts will change.
Cool.
You can one of my goose fields that I hunt, you'll see all the geese will be coming from the south, and they'll be migrating flocks, and you could really get on them because it's just a reverse migration, and they might, I don't know if are they coming back 100 miles, 500 miles? I don't know. How far are they bouncing back? But you can tell, like you can clearly tell, like, not to jump into hunt proof too much, but like our migration predictor has a factor in there for that algorithm based on the southern, like a reverse migration for a south wind.
No, that's good. And pull that in. And I got to tell you, very good segue in.
Yeah, that's a great segue, man. That's beautifully done.
Well done. Well done.
Write that down.
Yeah. No, but I watched a video that you done. I'm going to say it was earlier part of this week, right? So maybe Monday. And it was the snow cover predictor that's on. And dude, I'm going to tell you, like, I've been following you guys for a lot, but I have that app. I've had the app forever. But I've never really fooled with the app that much. And when you done that video the other day, I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, that's new.
Okay. But that is, dude, that is so cool. And a great segue in the hunt proof, because, we're at that point in humanity where we rely on technology so much, and there's people that say that we rely on it too much and stuff, and, and I get that. I understand what they're saying, but ever since that first time we crawled out of the cave, we've been evolving into doing better, right? So
absolutely.
So talk to me about the aha moment that you guys had when you were like, let's go for broke here, boys. Let's make an app and let's smash our head against the wall while we're trying to grow this.
A lot of head smash.
Well, of course it is, right? And one of the things I love to do on this show, especially with small brands like what I've got, what you've got, and not taking anything away from you.
No, not at all.
But it's because the general public, and it's not as they think that this is rosy, right? Like we're just raking in money. They don't see all the little things, and you guys are in an app, so that's even above and beyond me. So enough of me talking. Like, talk to us about deciding to build the app and to where you are today.
So the way it started was I don't know that really, I guess it does pertain to it, but like I was working night shift at a factory, and I would get off at 7 a.m.
Okay.
So it's already too late. You already missed the
first flight. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if anything, I could go like freelance somewhere, and like, cause everywhere around here is draws, and most of us draw. So you'd missed your spot, your opportunity. So you'd have to go freelance somewhere. And, I was working night shifts, so I would go to work, I might be going to work at 7, I couldn't really scout, or if I was sleeping to go into it just didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So I currently at that time was using the Ducks Unlimited hunting journal, the Waterfowl journal.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I just wasn't impressed with it. It was very limiting. It wasn't a whole lot better than just writing it on my paper notebook that I had, because I had one of those that was made for waterfowl and everything too. And long story short, I was working with a guy that his son made apps or started making apps. He had just started learning. And I talked to his son, well, he kind of talked to him for me. I said, hey, I got this idea. And the whole premise about it was, it was just another waterfowl journal, but I wanted it to be a searchable database. So like as you make your hunts, I wanted it to be searchable. So instead of flipping through pages trying to find hunts and what did you do and how did you set up and where have I had success, you just search it, right? Where did I shoot 10 ducks? And it gives me all the hunts. Well, then it was like, well, where did I shoot 10 ducks and it was snowing? Because tomorrow it's supposed to snow. Yeah. So where have I had success when it was snowing? Yeah. Where have I had success when it's raining? Where have I had success with a north wind, et cetera, right? Right. So I'm using tomorrow's weather prediction to tell me where I should or should not hunt based on past hunts. That was the whole idea. Yeah. That was what I had. Yeah. And the guy came back to me and he's like, oh, that's, you could do it. It's going to cost you $60,000. Ooh. And I'm like, okay. So at that time I would have been newly married, maybe making $50,000 a year, and in a little debt,
yeah, like everybody else in the world, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I would have been like maybe 25, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So I'm like, no, okay, gone. Yeah. So long story short, I got a new job. I started working for the state of Illinois as a carpenter. I had already been a carpenter and I left that. I went to the night shift gig just to get insurance. So I went back to carpentry through the state, got a pretty good pay raise, cleared up a bunch of debt and kind of got on my, did the Dave Ramsey debt-free stuff and kind of got everything squared away. And I had a few $1,000 laying around and I'm like, I don't know how it got back into it. One of my coworkers probably is really who talked me into it. And every time I bring it up, he's like, dude, that's sick as heck. Like, that's so cool. Like, he didn't even duck hunt. Right. And because he kept saying, dude, you should do it for fishing. You should do it for fishing because he's a big fisherman. Right. And deer hunters would eat that up too. And like everybody I talked to about it was like, you should do it. You should do it. And I'm like, I don't know. So on a whim, I messaged Steven, who, I grew up with Steven. We went to school together, played football together, worked together at my mom's bakery for years. Like, I've known Steven my whole life. Yeah. Well, at the time, I thought he was doing website design stuff. So I thought, hey, maybe he would know somebody that knows how to do apps. Yeah. Well, I reach out to him. He's like, well, I don't really design anything anymore. I work for a marketing agency, blah, blah, blah. But I do have a guy. And it was like, oh, okay. So then like, I feel like it was, and I will say this, like me and Steven talked about before, that's a total God thing. The first person that you talk to has a solution. Yeah. So like within 2 weeks, we're chatting with a developer that he's dealt with over years and has tons of respect for. Yeah. And
it has that relationship too, right? That trust.
And and we're like, okay, this is kind of what we got. And they're saying no problem. And we can do this, that, and the other. And he's like, well, what do you think? So it probably was 3 weeks after we had our initial conversation. I'm like, let's do it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I am kind of a risk taker type of guy. Like I'm going to shoot from the hip and we're going to try it. So I, once the wife agreed and said, let's give it take the risk, let's try it. So we did it.
Yeah.
Wow.
First year we had, so we were working with the development team. The first developer we had, I had a really good relationship with the primary owner of the development team. Yeah. First developer we had was kind of a bum. Right. So we went back and forth.
Not kind of.
He was a bum. And so we went back and forth for about a year to year and a half before we did anything. Okay. And I'm a long suffering individual. I'm patient. Like Nathan is not. No. Right. And so I've been in the development world for a long time. In the marketing world, things take time. Right. Yeah, so I'm used to it. I'm used to the back and forth. I'm used to the quality control. I'm used to the issues. Yeah. And even that was a lot for me. Oh, wow. And so we end up switching we got a new developer, spoke to our primary guy, and got a new developer on the account who's been with us for about 3 years now, and he is wonderful.
Awesome.
So I do a lot of the design, the actual like how it's going to look, the layout and everything, and then they translate it over to code. I'm dangerous at app development, but you don't want me in there. I'm going to do some things. And and so I would say our first, and I think we said this before, is our first kickoff was Dive Bomb Squad Fest 2022.
Okay.
Is that it?
It'd be 21.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Up until that point, I did not know. Like even from buy-in, from my standpoint, I've had a journal, like a physical journal. It's a little orange book that I'd put everything in, from squirrels to turkey, and then I would lose it, and then it would like go mute for about a year, and then I'd find it again, and I'd log my deer and where I killed it, and then I'd lose it again. And I always thought that was cool. I was like the just to back up a little bit, on that slough that my family's had for since I've been alive. There was an old cabin on there that pre-existed our family, and our family's had it since the 50s or 60s. So the cabin was probably like 80, 90 years old. All over that cabin, it was just kind of a wood interior, was check marks, where they would where for ducks. So they put the date, and you could look back, and it was all over the cabin, going back from my grandpa, my great uncle, people owned the cabin before then. It looked like a jail cell, somebody counting down when they're going to get out.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Right. And, but I wasn't, it's torn down now. It was torn down when I was about 20, 25 years ago. And man, I wish I still had those boards.
Yeah.
And so I always, from the provenance or just the history, like I've got kids now, and 2 boys. One of them is very, very into hunting. I always thought it would be cool to be like, man, look where Dad went. Look at all this stuff. And I wasn't really thinking about Nathan from a weather criteria or movement or what's this going to do for deer. I did, because I still we're just getting at a rut here in Southern Illinois, and that's all I think about during mid-November. But I didn't apply it to a lot of other things. I more cared specifically for the journal is like, my boys will have it one day, or they'll find it, after I lost it, they'll find it in some weird box after I die. Right. And, but because I always thought that was cool, the history behind it, not necessarily the action and how it impacted your, like the criteria that Nathan was looking for. That's a step beyond how I viewed it. I looked at it as, and I don't want to say legacy, right? But I want to say like, this is, because I go on, I turkey hunt, I duck hunt, I deer hunt, I squirrel hunt, all the time. So it's not, but I forget about where I'm at sometimes.
Right.
And like you tend to lose those small moments, and you forget about them.
Yeah.
Right. And it not saying that, I killed 2 squirrels on November 2nd, blah, 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 blah. Like that's not necessarily going to matter to somebody, but over time you develop this provenance that's like, man, it's all here.
Yeah.
And I know that's how I looked at it, as more of like a familial thing. And then when Nathan came with the idea, I was like, dude, this is great.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know how it would go. And I don't want to speak for Nathan, but I think he kind of felt the same way until Squad Fest 2021.
Right.
We set up a little booth. Actually, some of the tin on our roof was rusty tin from that old cabin.
Really?
And that we made out of like plywood and tin, right? And it was like you need like a tetanus shot just from working it. And we till this day we've done NWTF, we did Delta a few years. That to me was our most successful show by far, as far as interest and everybody like coming up and like, because I'm like, I thought it was just gonna be fun. Honestly, I was like, maybe I'll get free hats and someone will invite me to hunt, right?
Yeah. And
the buy-in and the genuine interest that people showed, like, oh, this is, I love OnX, right?
Yeah.
I will always have OnX on my phone. There was initially some confusion with that, like, no, that we're totally different.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of explain what the purpose of the app is and all these secondary and tertiary capabilities of the app, then you could kind of see it click with people and like, oh man, this is cool.
Yeah.
And we kind of vibed off that as well. And that's when I think that we met a lot of people. We met a lot of really cool people in the industry who we're still buddies with. We met a guy we met down there on day one is a co-owner of the app with us now. It is. It's been that to me was really the jump off point. It was also very beta. It was very beta testing. It was rough, man.
In all reality, like during that, so that was the first dive or Squad Fest thing that they did that was away from their warehouse. Yeah. So that was the first one they did at that Riverside, or I think it's called Riverside Plaza or something. I don't remember. But I mean, it was one of the things where like it was strictly waterfowl. We didn't have anything else.
Yep.
Which that's what we thought we were going to stay with waterfowl the whole time. Like I never had any intention to do anything but waterfowl from the start.
Right.
Because I felt like waterfowl was so left behind when it comes to, I mean, how many deer apps are there?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But, so anyway, we're set up with this. They got tents for you. We got one banner across the back with a couple screenshots. We decorated with some roof tin from Steven's cabin, some old Victor decoys.
And they smelled terrible. They were like blown up, and we had some of the old the rubber ones. When they got hot, they would expand.
We bought a gift card or a gift certificate for like $500 from Dive Bomb to kind of give away for like a raffle deal, to kind of get people into the booth, hopefully to talk to us. But so, I mean, we ended up talking, we had over 300 and something signatures over that weekend. Wow. And we had one person, basically, like literally his words were, well, you guys got more time than I do. I just shoot ducks. I was like, okay, see ya, but everyone else.
Yeah.
And I mean, and like, Steven said, like, one of the guys, that was walking around with a group of his buddies, they loved it. They came and talked to us the first day, came back the second day. Hey, we played with the app last night. This is so cool. And And, long story short, probably a year later, after staying in touch with him, he's like, if you guys ever want partners or investor, and we're a bootstrap, like it's me, Steven, and them, it's him, his family, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we haven't took any corporate money or anything like that. And, I was like, so finally I was like, man, they're good people. We've had enough conversations with them. Like, let's do this. So, then that was met there at that event.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, that event was, when you're building something like this, and you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, you think your stuff is cool, right? Like it makes total sense.
Yeah.
It makes total sense. Why would you not use this? Why would you not do this? Why would you not, whatever?
Yeah.
But then to finally get a little bit of affirmation from the outside world, it was a huge, like, I didn't sleep much that first night because,
of course,
like, even my hunt buddies are like, dude, no one has said anything stupid. Like, no one has said anything bad about it. Like, making jokes about, oh, Nathan's going to be a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, slow the brakes here.
Yeah. Pump your brakes.
Yeah. 5 years later, I'm still working every day. But it was eye opening. Like, I think we all realized, okay, we have something here, but what are we missing? Or, that kind of thing.
We were missing a lot that first round.
Sure. But would you guys say, because I say this all the time, and my dad, God rest his soul, my dad used to say this to me all the time, and I use it. It's become a mantra for me over the last, dozen years or so. And it's surround yourself with good people and good things will happen, right? Mm-hmm. So, in this world, and it's not just into the waterfowling community, it goes anywhere when you're trying to build something or something that you're passionate about. When that total dark stranger comes out of nowhere and says something like, man, I love what you're doing. Buddy, I'm going to tell you, I do not lack confidence. I'm a pretty confident person.
Yeah.
but I don't, brag or walk around. But when someone says something like that to me, I'm going to tell you, I've got some swagger going, and I'm like, and just, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but a couple weeks ago I had some great news, and my wife comes home from work and she was like, geez, what's up with you today? And I explained to her, right, what's going on. And she's like, wow. I'm like, yeah, wow is right. Like, and when it comes out of nowhere, it's just even better, right? And for you guys to go down to Squad Fest where, you didn't really know what the reaction was going to be. And the fact that you can say only one person came up and sort of threw some shade on you, that should tell you, because within our world, everybody is just waiting to cut you down if you're coming up with something.
Oh yeah.
And if you only had one person that really threw some shade on you, that should be a huge confidence booster for you, because man, I couldn't even imagine the euphoria. Is that even a word? I don't even know if I used that word properly. Yeah. Anyways,
I'm tracking. I know what you mean.
Somebody's going to be laughing when they're listening to this, but I couldn't even imagine the joy that you guys would have had from that. So well done to you. And so that was 2021 Squad Fest, and then you bring in a new partner. So and now we have Hunt Proof that we see today that's got deer and turkey and waterfowl onto it. So is it something that it takes, even if it only an hour a day, but is it something that you have to work at every day? Are you constantly just trying to update and add more features to it?
So speaking for myself, I go in like long bursts. So if I'm Nathan's laughing.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Nathan does primarily the most of the social media as far as like the and Luke does all the photography, and Nathan and his wife kind of put that out. I'll jump in every now and then. Usually when I do it, it goes semi-viral. I will say that.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't lack confidence either, but the I'm kidding. But what I will do is I'll do the app. Nathan will kind of come up with the idea, and then I will do the layout and kind of pre-development, and then lay that out for the developer. Do the QA, and then work through that. I'm pretty. We've got one big. We probably need to get them started on it. We just we just did the snow map. We did Upland a few months ago. And then we're expanding our dog stuff over the winter to try to get it before spring. The dog stuff's been killer for us. I know Pit Boss has been instrumental in our growth. Like, holy smokes. That guy, as soon as he started using the app and reposting, everything just went crazy.
It's awesome, eh? Jeff's such a good dude.
100%. And so
one of these days, whenever we're making it and doing well, and I'll figure out some way to repay that guy, because he started playing with it, and I did one of those annoying, like, message him 3, 4, 5 times, like we were talking about. Like, I just did it. I was like, listen, would you be willing to try this out? You're getting back in your dogs. I just really need feedback.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll give a shot. And then he gave me tons of feedback.
Yeah.
And it takes a special person to play with an app, of all things, that isn't working right, doesn't do what you want it to do, and be able to take the time to explain it through messaging and stuff. I mean, we messaged on Instagram, started texting, and just all these ideas, and you should do this and you could do that. And, and he's not the only one. There's been a bunch of dog guys that I've dealt with, and I'll never, like, someday I'll figure something out, but
of course
it's really, and they do it because they want the app, right? Like, they want something. I've been wanting something that I can draw my training sessions out and journal them and keep track and send it to another guy. I can, right now in the app, you can do a training session with marks and poison birds and flyers and everything. And then you can take that, you can not only just screenshot it, but you can literally share it to another hunter and inside the app and let them see it. So if all trainers are buddies, they can share what they did today or tomorrow or et cetera. And, like Jeff was very instrumental in a lot of that, and didn't ask for a check, he said, here, so, I don't know. We've been in the industry long enough now where that's few and far between.
Well, and that again, great segue, because the next question I had was, you're part of this industry now, and you're interacting with people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What are the things that you guys are absolutely loving that now, because you're in a supplier and a customer relationship now where you're getting feedback? Like, what are you guys, like what's success for you guys right now?
We use a program called Revenue Cat to track premium downloads, and then we
Okay.
also we kind of amalgamate Apple developer tools. We have a back-end dashboard of the app that we can count total downloads and users. To me, it's compounding success. To me, it is compounding user download and how much value. Obviously, we want to make money. Money
Of course.
powers the app.
Yeah, of
Nathan and
course.
I have not taken a dime
Right.
out of so everything that the app makes, we immediately put back into it. Development is expensive,
Yeah.
and so to me, is what does success look like? Inevitably, yeah, I'd like to put a little money out of the app. I'm sure
Of course.
Nathan would as well.
Yeah.
I just get my money back.
Yeah, but a lot of it is just kind of, I get a kick out of when you were talking about the feeling of after a squad fest. I also
Yeah.
really like when we get a random person on Instagram that we don't follow and have no idea who they are share that they've been using the app for 2 years and here's all their birds. I love that. I don't know that dude,
Yeah.
and so like we've got a lot of users now.
Of course.
And I still kind of have the mindset of, oh yeah, it's just kind of like this small little clandestine Instagram friend thing that are sharing this around. And then you get a bunch of just random people and like, I have no idea who that dude is from Arkansas, and,
That's cool.
or when we're down at Delta and you're talking, some guy stopped by the booth and you're like, hey man, how, you're trying to sell it to me. He's like, oh, I already got it here. I've been tracking.
Really?
I was like, where'd you hear about us? And like, I love that stuff.
Oh,
and so like, to me,
amazing feeling.
To me, that is, I mean, I think there's success in that. What does long-term success look like? Obviously, everyone wants to make money and see financial fruit from the endeavor. But as long as those numbers are ticking up, as long as active sessions on the app are ticking up, that shows people are using the app, shows people are downloading the app. If they want to, what we call trip into the premium portion of the app, which is obviously what we want. It unlocks a lot more. The more that ticks up, shows what it gives you more, or at least from my standpoint, more affirmation that we are, we're going the right direction.
Cool. I think, man, it's just, it's cool from an outsider looking at it, because I know more about the background now, right? So talking to you guys and the fact that two regular dudes and just wanted to try and do something, and you're trying to navigate this, this world of owning a business, owning a brand, and still juggling family and work and all the life's responsibilities, and still carving time out of your day to do this sort of stuff. And then, you talk about Jeff Coates, right? And I know in your corner you have more people than Jeff Coates.
Sure.
When people talk about this water, and I don't deer hunt, I don't know about any of the other passions, right? But if you talk about the waterfowl community, right? And I know there's jerks out there, right? And I know there's people out there that makes it bad for us. But for me, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, But there's a lot of people within this industry that wants you to succeed. They want me to succeed. They want the next brand out. Like they are genuine. Like, sure, there's some jerks out there, but for the most part, it's people that they just want to help you. And I think it's not that they want a piece of the pie, that they want the money. I think they just get the joy out of knowing that they remember when they started their brand or when they first started and how hard it was. And now they're in a position where they can help. And I think that's what it is. And you look at, like I said, I follow you guys. I know who you hang out with. I know who you guys do stuff with and all of that. And like that, again, like that's huge wins in the column, right? When you're hanging with these guys and chatting with them. And Jeff Coates is the same thing. Like my old business partner, he reached out to him and he said, I'm going to ask Jeff Coates if he wants to come on the podcast. I was like, Jeff Coates is not coming on our podcast. And he said, yeah, of course I'll come on your podcast. And now Jeff is a great friend and somebody I talk to, probably every week or two. So the industry isn't as cutthroat as what people make it out to be, I guess, is a very long-winded way of what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there's some jerks, but I think the vast majority, they want to see the little brands like what I have succeed. And now you guys, like, it's insane to think. And that's, I don't know, it blows my mind when fellas can just come up with an idea and then not give up, right? And I think one of the big lessons in listening to you guys talk is that, listen, this didn't happen overnight. This was a lot of work. A lot of mistakes, and we put in the work, and we funded it ourselves. That's the thing that people like. I don't know about in the States, but in Canada, there are no grants. Like the government isn't giving you money to start businesses. You got to do it on your own you take out a loan or whatever, right? So if you can't do it on your own, like the chances are you're not going to do it. And I think that's where, good for you guys that you stuck it out. But I think that's where a lot of people give up, right? They're just like, man, I just can't keep putting the money into it. And
exactly.
It sucks, right?
So to that, circle back, I'm a knuckle dragging carpenter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I built houses since I was 12. Like, I was going to work with my dad building houses and handyman, whatever. And, all through high school, weekends, whatever, like I was working, if I had college classes 3 days a week, I was, swinging the hammer the other 2.
Right.
And I had a 3-year stint in the factory, misery, but I don't know anything about, I mean, I know a lot more now.
Yeah.
But like, we always joke about this on the podcast. Like I'm just about to figure out how to send Google Drive, files to emails without screwing it up, like it's it's tough. I just don't know that kind of, I don't know that world.
Yeah.
For me to be making an app is asinine. It really is. But what happens though is, and someone else brought this up in one of a podcast we did. Actually it was, a Big Honker. They said, because of my lack of knowledge, I don't assume things. So I want the app to be like, what do I say, redneck foolproof, I want
we
it
call
to
it
be
army proof.
Yeah. So I want it so foolproof that, some 70-year-old guy on an Android, which I use Android, that's what, like some 70-year-old dude that has to expand the screen 3x to be able to read everything. I want him to be able to use the app, because if he wants to log his hunts on his favorite hunting blind and keep track of how many birds he shot there, why should he not?
Yeah.
You know, and if that's all he's worried about, he don't need no searchable nothing. He needs to be able to type some notes and just write down how many ducks he got, you know, and I want it to be usable for that guy just as much as some teenage kid that can work circles around me in the tech space or whatever, you know? So, um, but also, like you said before, uh, probably once a month, I go through the shut her down, we're done, you know,
Right.
and it's like, and then you'll have a day where, you know, you might get 25 downloads and 2 or 3 guys pay, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can't be doing something so bad if
Yeah.
25 people decide they wanted it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Keep talking, buddy. Keep talking. I just got to step away. Keep talking.
so we get a situation where, you know, you get enough of a win in one of those days where it fuels you through the next 3 or 4 days. You know, you might find the light at the end of the tunnel after a few days.
Yeah, and it is so right now we're 15,000 ish users. And I think it's important to look back on that as well, right? Obviously we want to be double, triple, quadruple into the six figures. But I think that looking back on that, I think that's very successful considering most apps fail. I mean, they do.
Yeah.
And obviously it's we want that to compound, we want that to build, but like looking back, that's a assload of people using the app, right?
Yeah.
And so it is when we like discouragement is natural, and I think that this is how Nathan and I's personality, obviously we've been friends for a very, very long time. I kind of grew up with his brother was my best man. I kind of grew up in his household, right?
Right.
And I think we have very different personalities, and I think that he drives me a lot, and then I kind of tranquilize him a little bit. And
it just pisses me off is all it is. Really.
And but I think that works, right?
Yeah,
Like I think you need that. I think you need the and I think that's been a large part of you know how we've moved so far. But yeah, I mean, I think it is from where we started a few years ago to where we're at now. It's cool to see that many people utilize the app.
Oh, buddy, it has to be. It has to be good. It's validation, right? Because you know,
well,
I guess you'll have those days where you just, man, am I wasting my time here? Like, or whatever the negative thought that comes into your head, and then you know you go look at the numbers, and that's validation.
So funny you say that. Like I was literally out hunting this morning, cold and sick, cough, cough, and tried to shoot some ducks.
Dude, you just record that? Is that on record?
And the thing is I get a message on Instagram. Shout out to Hannah Hall, I think was her name. A girl shooting ducks, right? You know, a female in the waterfowl industry, you know, and she's like, hey, you know, I've been using your app for a couple of years now and really enjoy it. Do you have any type of, you know, ambassador program or collaboration thing or whatever? Like, I want to tell people about, you know, enjoying this. And I'm like, yeah, let's talk. Cause you know, we do have ambassador codes and stuff that we can put out. And, you know, I want to see her blow up. Right.
Right.
So like, if I could share her content,
Of course,
you know, why do I care if she goes from 5,000 to 10,000? Like, I want her to go. Like,
of course you do.
you know, and in that respect, as she wins and she shares my stuff,
Absolutely.
I win. So, you know,
well, I was going to tell you, like, I love the fact that you started like 2 weeks ago tagging me in your post so that I can share it. Like, I love it because, you know, and you be honest, like, I love it because it's something else for me to add to my social media that people are going to look at, right?
Yeah.
And
it don't cost you nothing, right?
And it costs me nothing.
Yeah. 2 seconds to click, and then share somebody and watch them blow up. And we're the same way. Like, everyone that tags us in something, I'm constantly trying to share it as much as I can.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. It costs you nothing to support someone with a like and a share and a comment and a whatever, a few seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to be that way. Like, I probably spend too much time on there doing it, but you know what? It's the right thing to do, I think. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it.
So. We're almost to that 60-minute mark. And this is the question. This is the last question I want to ask you guys. And both of yous, I'd like for you to chime in, but I think I know the answer from both of yous. You know, Nathan, you brought it up before we hit the record button, and you brought it up a couple times since we've been recording. And you've said this, you know, we've got friends, and I hope someday when we hit it big, I can return the favor. I can take them on an expensive duck hunter or anything like that. And I know you have your friend who does a lot of your photography and stuff like that. And I guess my question is I get that you guys are putting the money up. I get that you guys are on the back end doing a lot of the work. But how important is it that you got that circle of friends that you've met since you've started, or even people you've known for a while? How important have they become in this journey?
Oh, it's very big. So like, if you start with just my hunting circle, like, so I don't really hunt with Steven that much. Like, we try to get him, I think last year he maybe did 2 or 3, you know, like this year we might get a few more.
We live around about 2 hours apart. So it's hard to, I work a lot and travel a lot. And so it's hard to kind of carve that out.
Right.
But the thing is like, so like, we have, you know, you'll see in our content, you won't even see Luke half the time because he's behind the camera. But it's usually me, and it's my wife's cousin, Derek, and then Luke. 3 of us 90% of the time.
Okay.
That's my guys. Well, when we were going to these events, right? Like, okay, yeah, I'm going to cover your Airbnb and stuff. You know, we're going to go to Delta. Let's say Delta. You know, they're the ones carrying all the crap in. They're the ones setting up the booth.
Yeah.
Every single time you get set up, Wi-Fi doesn't work. Power's not there, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guess what? Luke is a genius when it comes to the tech stuff. Like, he does audio visual stuff for his church. He's, you know, good with the camera. He within a few minutes, he can rig up a video to, you know, loop on a TV screen that, you know, we weren't. It's just like that kind of stuff, like,
is invaluable.
Oh yeah, like, where would we be if we didn't have that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where I would be, because I'd be relying on Steven and he'd get it to me 3 months later. So it would just be like, he's ridiculously busy. Like, I mean, I'm busy, but his is stuff that, like, you know, he goes from one call to the next, putting out fires all day long.
Right.
And, you know, and then all of a sudden, at the drop of a hat, he's right back into a fire call at 9 o'clock at night, where that kind of stuff ends for me. And it's just normal people stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, and that's just like our small group, you know. Then you start talking about, man, my wife has become a genius on Canva trying to make content, you know, and with the assistance of Steven giving like colors and certain things, and to where we can make everything kind of look right. And then I go in there and screw it up with some stupid posts and whatever.
Man, the stuff recently, dude, it's been great. It's really strong.
But what is really funny though is like, Steven will sometimes try to do this really cool like post or something like that, and it'll kind of fall flat on his face. And then
what about my goose, my turkey?
No,
goose?
we don't want to talk about that one.
No, let's talk about
that.
I'll make one that viral.
It did go viral.
That was dumb, but it worked. It did work. I actually saw that. The goose decoy turkey thing on TikTok one time, and it had like 3 watermarks on the picture. Like, somebody had stole it 3 times. It was hilarious.
I'm going to look at this because I can't remember this.
He took a goose decoy and turned it into a turkey with a fan and duct tape, and it was. Well, that was April Fool's, wasn't it? That's what it was.
Yeah, it was April Fool.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was the because I pulled the beard out of like a bag of borax, and it smelled terrible.
I think it did like 800,000 views or something.
Yeah, that thing freaking crushed. But yeah, but no, I mean, I think that, segueing off kind of what Nathan said, I think between Grace, Nathan's wife, and Derek and Luke have been invaluable. Luke and just been able to troubleshoot anything. His photography is legit. Derek, if his current career ever works out for him, I firmly believe he could be a carny with the amount of people that he could stop at our booth and get to talk to him.
Really?
Yeah.
But outside of that, people even in the industry, I can't believe we're on a podcast right now. You know what I mean? Like from the standpoint of like that's cool to me. It is. Ramsey Russell, who's been great to us. I listened to Ramsey years ago on Meat Eater with Steve Ranella, right?
Yeah.
And now I got Ramsey on my phone. That's weird.
That's cool, eh?
Or like all of these makers calls have been great to us. The Wellens guys, the Off the X guys, all of these people that I've even pre-hunt proof, that I've followed a bunch of call makers, followed a bunch of call brands. Now we're like buddies with them. Right.
That's
and
so
it's,
cool,
I find that whole thing just so interesting. Like people being a part of people's stories, or people being a part of our stories. I think there's a real blessing in that. And I think that, I get a real kick out of buy-in from, like, Nathan and I had a hour-long or 2 meetings with Migra the past few weeks. Like,
right?
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's not that's not like we've done objectively, we've done, we've grown the app. It's done we're here to an extent, or to a small degree, but it is cool to be it's cool to have these relationships, right?
Of course it is.
That's still just kind of not necessarily unreal, but it's just the whole thing just is it's neat to be kind of finally, it feels, Nathan, I feel like I'm not doing a good job explaining this, but it feels kind of like we're ingraining ourselves more and more within the industry.
Yeah,
and I like
sure.
that. Right. Not necessarily even from a self validity or
Right.
whatever.
I know what
It's
you're
just
saying.
Yeah, it's just cool. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I think this whole thing's fun.
Yeah. So there's a funny situation. Like somebody, and I can't remember now who it was. Somebody went live on Instagram, right? And you get the notifications of somebody I followed or whatever, and you get a notification they're going live. So I click on it and I'm watching, and I see in the comments somebody's like, "Dude, Hunt Proof is watching," like it was something.
What?
And I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, that's me sitting on the couch, bro. Like it's not, it's not this $1 million company. It's
That's right.
It's me, and I was like, I commented, I was like, heck yeah, man, I like your content. Like, why would I not be,
Yeah.
And maybe they don't know that we're not this big corporation,
Right.
Whenever you pay $30 for us a year of this app, like you're supporting me and my dream, my idea. And like earlier you said, what is success? Man, if I can quit my full-time job and just take care of Hunt Proof, shoot, I think I won. I think I done won.
Yeah.
So if we get a situation like that, heck yeah. But it's super fun. I like I said earlier, probably once a month, I'm like, why am I doing this? This is dumb.
Yeah, I know.
But at the same time, then you get a message like today where Hannah Hall said, I want to be a part of what you guys are doing because this is super fun, logging my hunts and keeping track of this. And or someone reaches out and like, man, I thank you for building something to train my dog with. And it's not a dog training thing, module,
I know,
but
it just helps with the training.
Just journaling and keeping track of stuff. Or, man, I've been wanting to keep track of my dog's retrieves. Now I can do it really quick. All that stuff. It just, thank you. You get thank yous from random people saying, thank you for making this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And actually, middle of a cornfield in North Dakota. We're going to go longer than you wanted to go.
No, that's cool. Keep going.
I'm in the field in the middle of North Dakota, and a guy messaged me. We're getting ready to pick up decoys. He's like, hey, I'm having issues logging some upland hunts. Like, can you help me out? He's like, I can do a call. Here's my number. So I call him, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's struggling logging retrieves for his dog in the upland module. So I kind of explained what's going on. Well, then he's like, well, I'm doing tower shoots. So you're picking up like hundreds of birds in these tower shoots. And I said, well, it's definitely not designed that way, but here's how you should do it. Tap the screen to pin like it was a flush, and then just log all your retrieves and put it in there.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I'm going back and I'm putting old tower hunts in. I said, okay, well, you can do that too. Just you can put the date in as a post-dated hunt. Well, for some reason, the app was not logging. It was not like saving those. The old hunts would kind of like disappear. Every time he logged out, they would just disappear, messing up his numbers and all this stuff. Again, so I messaged the developer, give him some screenshots. He fixes it within a day or two. We're doing an update anyway, so we got it fixed. But on the phone, he's sitting there, dude, thank you for making this, because for one, you got it at a good price.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a decent price, and you guys offer so much. He's like, I've not even really got to dive into it, but I just want to, keep these retrieves for my dog, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he was just super thankful. And that's one of those situations where you're like, okay, we might be doing something right.
Of course, buddy.
Of course. I just feel like maybe we're doing something right there.
The minute, and this is how the minute that somebody takes their hard-earned money and they hand it over to you, that's success. Like, it is. Now, depending on who you are, is it $1 million or is it $500? But to me, if you take $25 of your hard-earned money and you buy a T-shirt with my logo on it,
absolutely,
to me that's a big thing, because that's $25 of your money, right? That you're taking away and you're spending it on my brand, right? So I totally get it, man. I love it. I love the story behind it. I love the good things that you're saying, and Craig, one of the guys that comes on the show with me, he's always said it, that since he's been on the show, how unbelievably humble the guests are, that are, people that he's followed, just like what you guys were saying, right? People that he's followed and watched over the years, like Ramsey Russell and stuff. And now he can email them or he can shoot them a text and stuff. And he says it's crazy, because never in a million years would I think I had, some of the people in my phone that I have, because I watched them. 15 years ago, I was watching them on a DVD, and now they're in my phone. Do we talk all the time? No, but
still cool.
It is, man. Let's do a quick around the table and we'll cut it off, boys. Like, I got to tell you, do not wait for an invite to come back on the show. Like, really don't. Like, if you guys say, Jesus, we got to get a hold of Damien, we got to get on the show, we got to talk about this, I'll make it work. You just gotta send it to me.
Yeah, Nathan's already messaged you. You can't see his hands. You just haven't seen your inbox yet.
I get tunnel vision, right? Like I just get like the blinders go on and I don't see nothing out of my peripherals. I'm like, I'm sort of like you, Stephen. Like, I just get I get bogged down on something, and then that just encompasses every bit of my attention, and I don't see anything off to the sides.
Yeah,
so
I'm the exact same way.
So let's do a quick around the table, and we'll end her there. Stephen, let's go with you first, buddy.
Yeah, man. I just first and foremost, thanks for having us on. We've followed you for several years now. I actually remember you walking up and seeing you talk to Nathan. Because I mentioned it when he walked back. I'm like, is that and he's like, yeah, man, this is fun, and I can't tell you how helpful to us this is. I know we were talking about beforehand the tension of feeling comfortable to ask somebody, hey, man, can we be on your podcast? Or, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? And kind of just breaking that barrier, and you reaching out to us, man, it's been great. And I sincerely appreciate you having us on.
No, buddy, I appreciate you coming on and carving time out of your busy schedule.
No, absolutely.
And you have no idea how much I appreciate it. So we'll have a competition. I appreciate it more than what you appreciate it.
Nathan, jump in.
Nathan, to you, buddy.
What my daughter says that 16 times and back, like 10 more times than you, whatever, infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
So Well, for one, like, obviously, thank you for having us on. Thank you for reaching out.
Of course.
That is well, that's one of our my favorite things. Like, I've said to Steven, we need to do a podcast because I like doing it. I like talking to people and telling the story and
Of course.
and bragging about what all we offer and all that stuff. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you reaching out and giving us this opportunity, this platform. And yeah, if you ever, if there's anything we can do for you, if it benefits you, we'll do everything we can to
I know you will.
share your stuff, promote your stuff, anything you need to do, we can get it up there.
Sure.
Awesome. Boys, I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. I promise you that. Ladies and gentlemen, this was episode 240 or 248 of the Union 0430. Phil and Craig aren't here tonight, but I can tell you I am not an expert, nor will I ever pretend to be one. Surround yourself with good people. Good things will happen. Big love. Until next time. Ciao.